Alright guys, so jumping right into it, first things first, we are getting into the fuel system. So right here we have a 1 liter gas tank. Now yes, it is small, yes, it is extremely small, and yes, it does not hold a lot of fuel. However, we're trying to keep this a budget build. Right now we're still under $1,000, which is awesome. I think we're right around $550, $600. Which is good because I want a cheap build. I don't want to be spending a whole lot of money on parts and pieces. But 1 liter gas tank, not a whole lot, but it'll get us through until we can find or source a bigger gas tank. I was originally going to put the gas tank under the seat, but with the new shock, we're just not going to be able to do it. It's going to be really, really difficult. So, small gas tank, it's going to go toward the front of the vehicle. Now, with that gas tank, we also needed some fuel lines, so I just got this fuel line off of Amazon. It is low temperature fuel line, so no hot. But it says it's polyurethane, and it's resistant to cold, sub-zero temperatures, perfect for Maryland weather, especially right now. You guys saw when I grabbed the table, it was snowing. So, got about 5 feet of this, so if we need to change it to add the newer tank, or when we get a newer tank down the road, we should have enough to piece something together, and this will also help out with some other projects. But 5 feet of 1/4 inch fuel line. So moving right along, let's go ahead and get this fuel system installed. Alright, I think we're recording. Cool. Alright, so I have no idea if you guys are at the same height or the same view as me, but we're gonna go ahead and take off the steering at this point and that point. That way we can drop the engine in, and then once the engine's in, we can start figuring out how we're gonna mount up the fuel. And I'm only gonna mount to this side because this side actually needs to be lifted up and raised higher for the body mount. So I actually might do that while we're here. But for right now, we're gonna get right into it. All right, so, I don't know. See, the GoPro is like, oh, I don't need this one. It's like, if it's not in front of your face, it's not gonna like pick up on the camera. Good God almighty. So I gotta like really get in here with everything. Wow, that was a shorty. Okay. Shorty little baddie. She my little boo thing. All this is the front stuff, so I can just tuck up here. Alright, let's turn the wheels. Nope, we want the wheels this way. We're gonna have to put the motor in on this side. GoPro angle is hard to figure out with the head mount, but I think we're doing okay. I just gotta look right at the thing, not like with my eyes, but with my whole freaking head. So I'm gonna try and slide this as far as I can. And I know that this sits in there backward, kind of. Okay. I said I was gonna need to put it in the other side, but how's my deadlift feeling today? Oh, it's feeling pretty good. Okay. All right, we can do this. Yep, this is a heavy bitch. Okay. Slide that in the hole. Oh, God. Oh. Engineering success, guys. Oh, my God. Okay. Get it about where the holes are. Look at that clearance, though. Good Lord. All right, so this is where we're gonna come with our fuel line, because this line has recently been replaced. So we're gonna come in here with our fuel line, so actually it doesn't need to be too terribly long. All right, so next step is to take all this stuff and have it come out here, get it out of the way, and now we got to put the body on. So let's go. Alright guys, so I apologize in advance if the GoPro footage is crap. It's going to be a learning curve. The first couple of videos are probably going to be crap, and my hair is going to be even more of a mess than it has been in past videos. But I'm on the regular camera just to show you some insight on here. That way nothing's like 100% on the GoPro. So right here is where our fuel line, or our blue fuel line, is going to hook up, and that runs into and around into our carburetor, which actually has a fuel pump, or a mechanical fuel pump, right here. And then we also have our crankcase vent running down in through here. But our fuel pump is right here, right to our carburetor. And this motor actually did run last year. That's how the motor was, or the whole lawnmower ran and drove last year. So it's got a new stator, it's got new coils, new plugs, new air filter, carb's been rebuilt. So there's no reason this shouldn't run given fuel and maybe some wiring TLC. But we're just going to focus on routing the fuel lines. So we're going to have our blue line come in and connect to this, I believe it's a one-way valve, I could be wrong. And then our fuel tank is going to mount somewhere in between this post and this post. I think right in here is actually a really good spot for it. So let's go see how that fits. So we got to keep in mind that that little nipple right there has to be our lowest point. But because of its size, it's going to fit really nicely right in there. And I think we'll be able to have some tabs that come off of this shock tower and right into the holes for mounting, and it should sit nicely right about there. And we have plenty of room that we could build off that if we need to later down the road, build a bigger gas tank, things like that. But for right now, hopefully this should be enough for we're gonna shoot for 1/4 mile passes, maybe 1/8 mile passes, but we're gonna see what this does. So I'm gonna figure out how to mount this, try to get it as close to level as possible. If it's slightly tipped this way, that's fine, but we're going to try and get this in here. We're going to make some tabs. We're going to run some fuel line. And that should be it for the fuel system. It's going to be a pretty simple day. Shouldn't take long. So without further ado, I'm going to strap the GoPro on and let's go ahead and get into it. Let's take apart this box. It's conservative. Right, we're forget conservative. Oh, well, maybe not. Didn't do it. Oh, yep, I just did. Okay. Whatever. We should have enough cardboard there. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab a knife. Right here. Oh, there's the sit. Dope. Oh, and if you guys are wondering, the drift trike still runs and drives. We haven't blown that up yet. It's still healthy and happy with what we're putting it through. And no, I did not break the engine in. I'm just driving it after about 5 hours of use. Then I'm gonna go ahead and drain the oil and do all that. So I'm gonna cut out a piece of cardboard about the same thickness as our flat bar here. This is overkill for a gas tank mount of that size, but if we can build off of it, we can build off of it. So I'm just gonna go with it. Benefits of a wood table. It's definitely that. You can cut into it and not care. Okay. Urgent. Cut that little notch out, and then I'll have the clearance for the nipple there, but I think that looks good. And then we can obviously like raise and lower this side as much as we need to, but I think we got our basic idea here. So I'm gonna adjust this piece a little bit more, and then we'll go ahead and get, because this one's just a straight piece, doesn't matter. This one's gonna need a little bit of help, but I think we can get away with just kind of doing like a little C notch like that. It's getting hard to cut the cardboard because it's getting wet from the table. Okay, so set something like that, and that way we have enough clearance for the fuel line. There she is. Got our gas tank mounted. Cool. Alright guys, so we just finished up this throttle cable. I don't know if you can see it on the GoPro, but it is a pretty red color. And it ended up fitting perfectly onto our one of our bicycle brake cables that I had left, or bike levers that I actually had left over from the drift trike build. So the way we have this set up is it's using our stock linkage holder attached to the stock location of the governor system. And this brake is actually from a rear drum brake out of a older Ford F-150 or F-350, I forget which one, but it allows us to have enough spring tension to pull that to a idling position. Now it's not all the way idling here, but the governor will push it the rest of the way when we're running and when we're driving. And we also have our fuel system all plumbed up. I'm gonna put all that back together, button all that up after I end this clip. But hopefully the next video we'll get the wiring worked out and we'll get the battery figured out. We'll get all the wiring and stuff figured out, and fingers crossed we can do a first start with this thing. The motor has run before, so it's not 100% a first start, but it's close enough to a first start where I would be okay calling it a first start. Either way, it's gonna be a first start. So I'm excited. I'm ready to hear this thing run again, and with a new exhaust. It's gonna be open header. But besides that, we're gonna go ahead and end the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this video was a little bit all over the place. There was a lot of confusion, but we did end up with a mounted gas tank and a throttle linkage, throttle cable, throttle hole setup, all worked out. So in the next video, I can't guarantee that we'll do a first startup, but in the next video, what I can guarantee, we'll have a new shock mount. I'm gonna do that off camera because you guys have seen me make like 4 different shock mounts now. I'll just give you the overview. So off camera I'll do that, but in the next video what we can start doing is working toward a first start, getting the wiring buttoned up, getting all of the intake and exhaust components getting ready, just taking it one system at a time, making sure that we're getting there. We're going to finalize some welds, and this thing should hopefully do a first start and maybe even a first test drive. But that's going to be all for today. Thank you guys again for watching. I will see you next time. Peace out and God bless.